Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be having a look at the PBK Bushcraft Knife. You can buy this on bladesandbows.co.uk. I'll put links in for it, so let's have a look at the knife.
Every time I think I'm gonna wake up back in the jungle. Every time I think I'm gonna wake up back in the jungle.
Okay, this is the knife. It comes in a nice leather sheath, a real leather sheath, and you get a fire striker, fire steel ferro rod, rosewood wood for the handle, and the handle of the fire rod, ferro rod, fire striker, whatever you like to call them. So that's rosewood, and it matches the handle of the knife. You've got a hole in there so you can attach a cordage to it. The knife itself, this is a rosewood handle. It's mass produced. If you feel it, you can actually feel that stud. I mean, it is not to a finish that you'd expect from an expensive knife. This knife isn't that expensive. I think it's about £24 with postage. So you've got an eye again for a lanyard or whatever you want to put. It's sharp, I know that. Out of the box, that's sharp. I've cut myself with it already. So let's get some measurements and some weight. 20 centimeters. So the blade length is 10 centimeters, and obviously the handle is going to be 10 centimeters. So it's half and half. It's sort of like based on the Woodlaw. That's the sort of style of this knife. It's got a drop point. It's got a quite a nice sharp spine to it, so for striking it'll strike well on that striker. Because it's got that sharp spine to it, it should strike well on the striker. Some knives, they're quite nicely rounded there on the bevel, so you don't get a good strike when you're trying to do a strike on it, but this one's going to catch well. I mean, it's sharp. So see how thick that spine is. I really should put a micrometer on it, but or a vernier. I would say that is 3.5 mil, 4 mil, something like that. It doesn't feel weak. That's a strong piece of metal, that is. Full tang, obviously. You can see it's a full tang blade. I could say it's a budget bushcraft knife, but it does the job. It cuts. It hasn't got the most finished rivets. You can feel the rivet head when you run your fingers and thumb over it. The wood's nice though, the rosewood finish. It's still, again, you can feel the blade when you run your nail around it, so you can feel the blade against these scales and this side. So it's like the scales are made separately and just put onto the knives later. It's not finished. You could do it yourself if you wanted to go for that finished feel, but for the price they're knocking it out at, there's nothing wrong with it. So I'll put a link in for Blades and Bows. I like this knife. It's smaller than I thought it would be, because my brother bought me this. I didn't buy it myself, and I didn't know anything about it. I didn't even look at it until I got it. So I wasn't sure about sizes, and it is small. I mean, it's easy. You can cinch up on it, get your thumb really up on that cinch, so you can do some nice carving and get control. It's all about control. Oh, it came with a knife sharpener. I'll show you that in a second. Right, it came with this knife sharpener. This was in the box with it. There's no fancy packaging with this knife. Plain white box, and this knife sharpener was with it. So it's the same sharpener I carry anyway. I've got the black version, so they just give you it, so it's good, isn't it? Get a free sharpener with it. I haven't opened it because I'm not going to use it. Got one already, so I'll just stay like this. Might put it in a giveaway one day if I do a giveaway. So I'll put that to the side. The weight of this knife, let's weigh it. 127 grams without the sheath. Let's put it in the sheath. 208 grams, 209 grams. And that's with the Fire Striker. Would I recommend the PBK Bushcraft Knife Classic? Yeah, I would. I think this is a really nice knife. As far as knives go, there's no description on it of who made it, so you could tell everyone you made it yourself. It's a nice knife. There's no issues with the blade. It's full tang, as you can see. It's just a full tang knife. It cuts. I'll put a description in for the steel it's made of, so you can't go wrong with that. So yeah, it's a well balanced, well made knife. When I say well made for the money. You know, we're not talking £300 for a bushcraft knife here. It's not a Woodlaw or a Jacklore. If you want a really good quality knife, you look up Jacklore. Sandy, he makes knives, makes good quality knives, but then you're spending good money for them as well. This isn't going to break the bank. This is a knife that's as cheap as any knife you buy. 20 quid. I think with postage about 24. So we'll get that all linked up. Show you this. Really good site in the UK, Blades and Bows. They usually do a next day postage. You get it the following day, so it's a few days postage. It's great. Nice thick leather. It's about 2 mil, I'd say. It is real leather. Well stitched. Nothing wrong with that stitching. It's a machine stitch, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's good. Yeah, it's good. It's a good overall all-round knife. Nice and short, so you can cinch up on it. Get your thumb in there. Do some good carvings with this knife. It's sharp as well. I know it's sharp because I've cut myself with it already. And I've been cutting stuff, so let's see if we can do a cut test with it. What have I got to cut? So there's a nice bit of wood. Very hard wood this, and it's dry. It's completely dry. It slices into that like lovely. It's got a sharp back on the spine. It's not rounded, it's actually squared off, so you can strike on that as well. But that cut into that really well. It's good. I'm happy with it. Like I say, you've got some control on it. But this is a very hard piece of wood. I'm not sure what this is. It might be ash by the look of it. But it's very hard. I don't know if I'd batten with it. I think I'd just use it for carving and everyday purpose. Cutting, cordage. You could even skin with this. Cutting up your stuff, opening your packets of sausages, you know. The general bushcraft stuff. Yeah, does a good job. So if you're looking for a small bushcraft knife just to get you going, like, ain't gonna break your bank, and it's give you that same shape and design as a expensive one, then a PBK is a good little choice to start with. You know, if you get into it more and you fancy a nice knife and you collect knives, you know, you can buy what you like, it's your money. I've got knives, I've got quite a few, but I'm not a knife collector. I buy them for the purpose and then use them for that purpose. So if this blunts out, I'll just sharpen it up and carry on going with it. The PBK Bushcraft Knife. I like it, I recommend it as a cheap budget knife. Get you through, get you by. won't fail you. It is sharp. So thanks for watching.